These thoughts up in my head, things I never did. I took some L's, but I'm still here. I got these thoughts up in my head. I toss and turn about some things I never said. I got regrets about some things I never did. I took some risks and took some L's, but I'm still here. And I know.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Overthinking Thoughts Pod. I'm your host, Ed. As always, journey with me as we pursue greatness in a world full of chaos. Here we are, a couple weeks out from Christmas. You are getting this 10 days before Christmas, I think. Depends on when I get it out. But if you're celebrating, obviously this is the most festive time of the year with lights and people getting together and all that. So I hope that you guys are safe. I hope that, you're around family. I hope that you are enjoying life. For those that do not celebrate the Christmas tradition, but maybe Jewish, happy Hanukkah to you all. And since I won't be doing any podcasts after this one until the new year, happy Kwanzaa to those that celebrate that as well. And anything else that you do traditional, make sure that we're safe. But it is another week. We are blessed. We are here. So I hope that things are going well for you. I hope that you are living life and you're living life to the fullest. I would be crazy if I didn't. For visual, shout out to my boy IV the Great. He made this amazing sweatshirt. I don't know if you get all of it. It's got the Merry Christmas at the bottom. Got the gold chain with the gold fronts. We call them St. Claus. I don't know. I just made that up. But shout out to him for the dope clothing. You know what I mean? So Urban Royalty is always, it's on the sleeve too. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. Appreciate you, folks. Anyway, if you're new here, we try to pursue greatness in a world full of chaos. We know that there's so much that's going on in life. We just try to find our ways through staying positive, through overthinking, anxiety, worry, stress, all those things. I try to find something encouraging and positive to uplift you, to help you kind of navigate through life. And I hope that you get something from it. If you are returning, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate you keeping this going. Trying to make some headway, trying to make some changes for the new year. Just trying to figure out how we could take this a little bit further, of course. So, but take some time to kind of step away from the podcast for a couple of weeks. Obviously, with the holiday season approaching, I want to spend more time with family, but I also want to try to create a blueprint, just going into the new year, just trying to figure some things out on how we can make it bigger than what it is. So, let's see. Other than that, you can always catch us streaming. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts. We're also on Google Podcasts. For the visual, we are on YouTube as well. All of those are Overthinking Thoughts Podcast. That's going to be the handle for all of those platforms. And then if you want to catch me on social media, I'm over on Instagram at Overthinking Thoughts Pod. And I'm also over on TikTok at Overthinking Thoughts Pod. So feel free to stop by, like, subscribe, leave comments, messages, whatever the case may be. Shout out to all the new followers over on TikTok. Appreciate it. I feel like every week it's growing. So shout out to y'all. And for everybody who's holding me down over on Instagram, what's up to y'all too? So thank you. Okay, so in the midst of where we are as far as like our festiveness and the holidays and things like that, I know a while back I've asked you about unwrapping your gift using what you have. Okay, so my question is, have you unwrapped the present yet? You giving yourself an early Christmas present? Have you taken your talents out of the box? Have you taken what has been put inside of you and put that to good use? Or are you doing the New Year's resolution thing? You waiting until the new year to start and to do something new or whatever the case may be. Here's some things with that. One, you're not guaranteed if that's really going to happen because we don't know what we don't know, right? Second, if you keep saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do it when I get right. I'm gonna do it when I'm in a better position. I'm gonna do it when things are better." Sometimes you just have to go out and do it in order to put yourself in a better position. So if you've been sitting and waiting and hoping that these things are just gonna happen, it's not. It's like in the Christian faith without works is dead. It's one thing to say that you have faith. It's another to actually walk in the purpose, walk in the light, walk in the truth, get into the word, pray, fast, do all these things that God is calling you to do so you can strengthen your faith. But if you just say, "Oh, I got faith," and then you do nothing to build it, then faith without works is dead. It's like if Steph Curry said he wanted to be the best shooter in the world and he decided to never go to the gym, you would never hear about him. So it's like you got to put into practice what you say you're going to do. And unfortunately for some of us, we still got the wrapping paper on the gift that's been presented to us. We still got the box. We put it under the tree. We're not going to open it until a certain date. But some of us are afraid to even open it because we just don't know what the gift is. Either we're scared of what it could potentially do, or we're just scared that it may fail. It's a gift given to you. It has been put into your heart. It has been shown to you over and over again through how you feel and what you experience and confirmation. Because when we pray, God gonna show you some things. If you keep hearing it over and over and over again, it's in your spirit, it's in your soul, and you feel it, and it's burning inside of you, and you ain't done nothing with it yet. That's a slap in the face, and you're halting your progress. You haven't moved forward yet because of something you're doing. I talked about this last week about how we can imprison our own selves, and we have the key. And it's like you have the key and you're just dangling the key, but you're like, I don't want to do it yet. I don't want to go yet. What you waiting on? Okay. You know how many people are getting ready to write down that they're going to go to the gym and they're going to start on January 1? You know how many people are getting ready to do that? You know how long that's going to last? Probably to like February. For some, earlier than that. It's the consistency. It's the dedication of I'm going to go in and I'm really going to do this and I'm going to see it all the way through. You don't need January 1st to do that. You don't need the new year to say, okay, new year, new me. You can start right now. You could take the day that you have right now and decide that I'm going to move forward from this day. I'm going to use this day to get better. I'm going to take this time to declare that this is the time where I start to shine. What you waiting on? Like, especially like, okay, I know I'm going to do it. I know I'm going to do it. I know I'm going to do it. A lot of people will talk themselves so much, like they'll psych themselves out. They'll be like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, and then never do it. You know how many dead ideas are still sitting on shelves? You know how many life-changing things are still under the quote-unquote tree that are still wrapped, that the bow hasn't come off of? You know how many people are still dealing with that? You know how many people will never reach under and grab that gift? Whether it's fear, whether it's doubt, whether they've been listening to other people. Don't let that be you. Be the example, be the light. So that way other people know that it's okay for them to open their gifts so they can shine. But we've been waiting so long on, I don't know if it's confirmation from other people or the right moment or whatever. Man, you ain't gonna know until you try. If you don't try, you'll never realize just how far you can go. I've watched that happen to people, and I think one thing too that I want to point out is like, not everybody's gonna understand your gift. It's not meant for everybody to understand your gift. It's not meant for everybody to walk the path that you walk. And the ideas that are given to you might be different from everybody else's. You start sharing that with other people and getting discouraged because they have a different idea of what's been given to you. Yeah, of course you're going to feel, because you've allowed their opinion to dictate how you're supposed to feel. Now, I'm not saying don't listen to people and listen to criticism, but what I am saying is if you know it's meant for you, then you need to block discouragement and you need to find a way to pick yourself up and build yourself and grow. Some people would say, "Oh, I gotta be motivated," and I get that. I think motivation is key. I think being encouraged is key. But I there's a TikToker. You probably heard me mention her before. Her name's Lay. Um, and she had this thing on Instagram where she was letting people ask questions, and I said, "How do you stay motivated?" And her answer was, I wouldn't necessarily call it motivation, but discipline. The discipline of knowing, like, I don't feel like doing this, but I have to get up and do this because if I do this, then this happens. I don't want to get in my word, but I know if I do, I'll feel better and I'll be strengthened. I don't want to get up and work out, but I know if I do it and I discipline myself, it's not necessarily about how I feel, but about what the result is. And I thought like that was so major. And it makes more sense. And I want to start applying that to my life. Like the discipline to get up and record a podcast, the discipline to get up and decide on what topics am I going to talk about and how am I going to encourage folks. And like, I might not have millions of people following me on a podcast, but I might have one person that's listening to what I say and actually implying what I'm telling them. And they're saying, okay, what he said is helping me. And I appreciate like when people leave us comments about how they say, your comment on this helped me, or this is important, I'm saving it, I'm favoriting the video and all those things. Like I would have never known that if I would have stayed back in my my son's room now, but in my like office at the time during COVID, telling myself I should do this, and then I talked myself out of it. It wouldn't have made sense. It wouldn't have worked for me. It ain't gonna work for y'all. So, you know, it's time to stop playing small and step into what it is that we're meant to do. So, if you're gonna set a goal or a New Year's resolution or whatever, and you're saying this is what I want to do, that's great. It is. I think setting goals is great. I do. I really think that if you're like, I'm determined to get this done, that's awesome. You could start some of the preliminary work now, though. You could start making plans. You could start, researching. You could start creating blueprints. You could start asking questions, talking to people. You could start researching. You can do a lot of these things, whatever the goal may be. Like, don't stay stagnant, though. And also, the other thing I think that is so important when you're using your gift or wrapping your gift or, trying to put yourself out there like that, you can't be discouraged if it doesn't work out the first time. Like, I go back to when I almost quit basketball. And I remember I wasn't gonna go try out. And my dad was like, nah, you've been doing this, like you gotta at least see if this is what you can do. I'm so thankful that he did that because it allowed me to step into so many other things in my life and look at other avenues in life. It pushed me to bigger and better heights because of that moment. So it's like being able to be a part of that has been super cool. Um, I imagine like what would have happened if I would have like just backed away from it. I feel like it would have backfired big time. So it's like, you know, I've seen people that have quit on themselves due to discouraging words or due to, lack of belief or doubt or the opinions of others and things of that nature. And it's sad because you're watching somebody who has thought about this for so long and watching their dream die because of words or other people's actions. You can't expect everybody to see the end result like you do. You can't expect everybody to believe in what it is that you're going after. You can't expect everybody to walk with you on your path, but that's why it's your path. That's why it's your journey. That's why it's determined. The destination is determined for you. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, how can another person tell you how to walk your path if that's not meant for them? If they don't have the experience in that, what you listening to them for? Somebody that's been down that road, sure. And even then, to a certain extent, like it's like when I talk to my son, like there's certain things that I could tell him that I know he's gonna need, but eventually he's gonna have to walk his own path. And I'm gonna have to let him do that. Because if I don't, he'll be trying to live a life that he thinks I want him to live. The reality is I need him to live a life that God has intended for him. And I need him to be confident in it. And in the same way I need him to be confident, I need you to be confident in what you've been called to do. I need you to be confident in the gift that's been given to you. I need you to be confident in the skill sets that you possess and the people that you're going to lead. I need you to have confidence that whatever challenges you may face, you will get through. No matter what obstacles you face, you'll learn how to climb over them. You'll learn that those obstacles and those things that tried to destroy you were just stepping stones to get to the next level. And as you continue to step higher and higher and higher, you'll start to equip more knowledge, more wisdom, more courage, and then you're going to be able to pass that down to others, and then they're going to be able to do that, and the chain reaction will happen. So there's a lot of people counting on you, but I got to get you to be encouraged, and I got to get you to be confident in yourself and stay disciplined, so that way when things don't go according to plan, you don't lose hope, but you just become more inspired to get better. So it's like, it's not pressure or anything like that. I don't want to say it's pressure or anything, but what I will say is you got some work to do. And yeah, some of y'all scared. I know. I was there. I talked about this podcast for 3 years or 2 years. 2 years. I bought little like camera stuff and small microphones, and I was like, that's not good enough. It's not good. I'm not good at this. I can't do that. And I was telling myself all the things I couldn't do. And then one day I just decided this is what I'm going to do. And I gave myself 4 weeks to just kind of figure it out. And then that day I said I was going to launch, and that's what I did. And I tried to be as consistent as I can ever since. I've been inspired by other podcasts and things that they do. I see their audiences and I see their growth, and they grow fast. Mine It's a slow growth, but it's growth nonetheless. Started off with people that I knew. Now it's like people that comment that I've never met before, but they feel some type of way or they feel encouraged by what I say. Like that doesn't happen if I don't use that. It doesn't happen if I like allow anxiety to win or allow my worrying to win or allow my overthinking to win. It doesn't work that way. So, I realize how important it is to take the first step, but I also can understand that there is a fear involved. Um, to combat that, there's a quote, Alfred Whitehead, I believe. Fear of failure is the death of progress. If you are already in this state of I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail, well, yeah, that's exactly what you're gonna do because you believed it. So yeah, you are gonna fail if you keep thinking you're going to, if you have a fear of failing. But like, what happens if you do well? Like, what happens if you accomplish it and then people see it and they think that's a strength? That made me think. It's not like a major story, but all right. So one time in college, right? I was doing a sports intern, like an internship with our sports information director, right? And this is my homie because he put me on for so much stuff. Like he took me to all the games. He made sure I was like getting stats. I was like, sitting like courtside. I had press credentials and stuff. Like it was dope. Like it was a great internship. This one particular time though, we we had a game, and we used to do like local like cable access just for the community or whatever, right? And the guy who was supposed to do the speech just was like, or not the speech, but he was like the color commentary dude or the broadcaster guy. He just didn't show up. Like I don't know, like he just didn't come. And so the game's like at 1. So like 12:30, obviously like these rumors start to spread out and they're like, I don't think he come in and this happened, that happened. And then like 12:40, we still holding on, like maybe he just run late, God forbid anything happen. About 12:50, now we in panic mode because the game started 1 and there's no plan. And people are like, yeah, nah, he's not coming. Like, I forget how he got confirmed, but it was confirmed that like, dude just ain't coming. He never came back after that. Now, what happened to him? I mean, I don't know. But he ain't come. And so now our SID is like, bro, like, what do I do? So he's going over in his mind, like, okay, what can I do? Like, what can I control? Like, now he's the main guy with stats. He got the computer system. He knows that. So, like, taking him off of that, nobody else can do his job. Okay, got it. He's got people that are gonna do like PA addressing. Okay, cool. He's got all that, but you take them away and then you do that. Like that's a whole thing. So now here I am, the intern, who usually sits and looks at his computer system and says, "All right, this person going in for this person." I kind of spot for him, right? And so I'm standing there like, "Oh my god, like what are you gonna do?" And then he just stops. I remember he stopped and he looks dead at me and he was like, "What are you gonna do?" I said, "What you mean? What I'm gonna do?" He was like, "You gotta go do it." I was like, "I've never done it before." He's like, "Doesn't matter. I need somebody there. You gotta go." So now here I am, like, I don't know what to do. I'm terrified. I've never done this before. I don't know how it works. I've seen it on TV. Never done it. I get over there and I'm sitting down, I put the headset on, and the guy's like, listen, when I say we're live, there's going to be things that I say to you, but don't respond back to me because it's going to sound like you're talking to yourself on TV. And that's embarrassing. And I was like, oh gosh. He's like, so here's how this is going to work. Theme music is going to play through your headphones. And when it's done and I say you're live, you start going. And I'm like, what do I say? And he's like, just talk about the game. I was like, oh, wonderful. We have to get through the intro first. Like, I don't even know what we're talking about, right? So I'm sitting there, 1 o'clock hits, music starts playing. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm just like, what am I supposed to say? So I start quickly thinking about like every NBA broadcast or every college basketball game that I've ever heard. I'm like, all right, mostly they introduce themselves, they say what arena they're in, they talk about the two teams for a little bit, and then they go to the action. And then I just started talking. Like when he said I was live, I was like, welcome. This is my name. Welcome to, the arena between today's matchup between so and so and so and so. Both these teams are looking to win. We're expecting fierce competition. Boom, 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 boom. National anthem came on. Dude was like, yo, that was great, man. Like, you sure you haven't done this before? Like when he said that, I was like, oh, it feels kind of good. So then as the game went on, it became easy because like that's what I know. I know basketball. I then did that for the rest of the season. Like that's how dope it was. Now, granted, this was after my senior basketball playing career was over. And I just needed an internship to graduate, and that was helpful. But I think about that moment, like, bro, how would I like if I would have told that man no, things would have fell apart. But I had to step out of my comfort zone and do something that I had never done before, but I had to believe that it could be done. And a lot of us are afraid to get out of our comfort zone. Now, understanding that when you leave the comfort zone, that's when the growth happens. Of course, it's uncomfortable because you've never done it before. And no, you haven't experienced yet. Like, it's uncomfortable because you're not used to it. But imagine what happens if you go in with an open mind, an open heart, and you decide to do the best that you can and just see how things pan out. You never know what opportunities are on the other side of you being uncomfortable and having an open mind. Like I had a great mentor while I was in higher education that helped me out for a period of time. And I remember her always telling me, like, don't go in like negative, go in with an open mind. Because if you go in with an open mind, you'll make better decisions, you'll understand more about yourself, you'll feel overall like things are okay. And I think her constantly telling me that gave me enough strength to be like, yo, I can do this. Now, granted, I learned that later on, like, this ain't meant for me. But could you imagine if I went with negative mindset? I would have never got things done. I would have downgraded myself. But the fact that I was able to still experience everything and go through it, it made me feel better about who I was. And it gave me a better sense and encouragement of like who I am and what I can do. And I think that's the message I'm trying to get across to you all is like you're at this point in your life right now where you're facing or like you're looking at what you can do, but then there's all these fears and these barriers that are in front of you that you're not quite ready to conquer yet. Not because you can't, but you just have it in your mind that it's either not meant for you or you're not good enough. And we have to eliminate that. A lot of that comes from overthinking. A lot of that comes from worry. A lot of it comes from past experiences. You see, we keep looking back at what we've been through and putting that in front of us as, well, this has happened before, so there's no way I'm going to be able to move forward. But I think you utilize it as, okay, we tried this way. This didn't work. I know that because I can see it. What if I do something different? What if I branch out? What if I take a different stance? What if I find a different belief within myself to say this is what I can do? Like that's how I think we should navigate certain things because we are our own worst critic. And sometimes we will put ourselves in a dark corner and we become depressed. We become lonely. We become anxious. We feel like there's no help. And I don't want us to get to that point. If you're at that point, if you feel that way, I want to encourage you that like you have a light inside of you. I know that I've talked about this before, but you do. You got a gift that's inside of you. You have something unique to the world that we need. And we'll never know it if you never use it. I don't want you to be stagnant. I don't want you to hide what God has blessed you with. I want you to utilize what it is. So that way, God gets the glory, but then we all become better because of it. All because you decided to believe in Him and trust that He knows what He's doing. So, that's a lot of what we're dealing with and what's happening. So I know this is a quick podcast, but what I want to leave you with is this. I want you to, here's my task. I want you to unwrap your gift. Do it before Christmas, okay? Do it bigger, better. Open it up, see what you got, explore it, be happy about what you have, and then utilize the gift, okay? Be grateful for what you have. Be thankful for this life that you have. Be thankful for the opportunities that have come your way. Be blessed that you have this uniqueness inside of you. You have this great gift that's in front of you. The world needs to see it. Unwrap your gift and have a safe holiday season. I love you. I'm rooting for you. I'm praying for you. May God bless you. And as always, I believe in you. Now go believe in yourself. It's Ed with the Overthinking Thoughts Pod. We out.
These thoughts have been in my head. Things I never did. I took some L's, but I'm still here. I got these thoughts up in my head. I toss and turn about some things I never said. I got regrets about some things I never did. I took some risks and took some L's, but I'm still here. And I know. And I know. And I know.